things out of the way. If you ask my wife, the only housekeeping I ever do is up here on stage. And guys, if you've ever wondered when oral sex is going to finish in your relationship, it's when your wife pays to have a cleaner. Because if she's going to pay someone else to mop the floors and scrub the toilet, there's no way she's going to polish your knob. I've got to say that it's great to have Barack Obama in the White House, and I know I look like a bit of a redneck, but it's actually just a bad case of sunburn because I figured I'm trying to go black. If you think about it, Lewis Hamilton, Formula One race car champion, Tiger Woods, number one golfer in the world, black. Look at it further and go, highest paid actor in Hollywood, Will Smith, black. President of the United States, Barack Obama, black. Michael Jackson must be kicking himself about now. Political correctness, by the way, is not one of my strong points. And I must say that I get my political correctness from my mother. My mother was born in the 40s to Italian migrant parents. She is now profoundly deaf. She has a cochlear ear implant. And she tends to say things very loudly. So when you're going down the escalators at the Sydney Shopping Centre, and at the top of her voice she goes, "Gee, son, there are a lot of Japanese here, aren't there?" You think to yourself, "Mum, that's wrong, you can't say that." And then you go, "Actually, she's only yelling what we all think." At the end of the day, you have to respect somebody who's prepared to shout their minds. I've got to say, I do love Sydney. Sydney is such an easy city. It's Lebanese, Japanese, Chinese. And I've also noticed that in Sydney, there are a lot of Kiwis. New Zealanders everywhere. Is anyone from New Zealand? You know that New Zealanders have different words for everyday items. In New Zealand, they call an esky a chili bin. In Australia, we call it an esky. In Australia, we call them aku. In New Zealand, they call them sex toys. And I've always wondered why it is that people get so upset, violently opposed to fur, but never protest against leather. And I think it might have something to do with the fact that it's a lot easier to hassle little old women than it is to challenge Vikings to their choice of jacket. And I've noticed too that headlines in newspapers, the journalists seem to be getting it a lot dumber now. I remember reading a headline and it said, "Police find crack in man's buttocks." Or another one which was, "Police raid gun store, find weapons." So my favourite is a true story of a man who was appointed to a school where his son was going. And the headline read, "Son gets excited as dad gets head job." I do have to say I'm a father myself. I've got an 8.5-year-old son. And it's amazing just how much every day is making me become like my father. Like I hear him saying things like, "Don't make me come over there, don't make me count to 10. Don't punch this guy in the front row because he's not laughing." And now he laughs. But it's actually stranger when you start to hear the things that come out of his mouth. Like I found him when he was about 3.5, he's on the computer. He's tapping away and he said, I said to him, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm trying to type fuck." And I looked at him and I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I am trying to type fuck." I said, "Son, do you even know what that means?" He goes, "Yes, Dad, it's like sugar." And I thought fuck would be the worst thing that my son would say. But they're teaching the kids, when they go to school, they teach the kids to read, and they look at the first letter and the last letter of the word and get them to make up the bit in between. And he starts with my family. My mum was born in Adelaide, which is the capital of South Australia. My dad was born in Armidale, which is a big country town in New South Wales. And if you've ever been to Armidale, you know it's not far from the truth. I'm over 40 now, and I like to think that my body is a temple. So he's telling me that if you do that, you're going to turn even more people away from religion. And speaking of religion, I grew up in the 70s and I blame my heterosexuality on the Catholic Church. 7 years as an altar boy in the 70s and not even a wink from a Catholic priest. And I tell you what, growing up in the 70s, we used to roam, we used to go out from sun up, go around, roam the streets, come home at lunchtime with one from deep, go back out until dark. Now, you can't even leave your kids in the car for an hour where you go to the pub for a beer. And drink driving, if you've ever wanted to drink drive, you're a bloody idiot. I tell you what, they got that right, because when you're so pissed and you're driving and you vomit, you still think that putting the windscreen wiper on is going to make a difference. My name's Rob Manning, thank you very much.